Ange Postecoglou has been talking about transfers, and he's been talking about transfer targets. Not targets specifically, but areas that he would like to target, and the fact that we have a little something inside Celtic Park that will help us. What do we have?
I've got a dunk.
Anyway, Ange Postecoglou has been talking about the Japan and South Korea tour, and he says it'll help swell the club's fan base in the Far East. He says when you do that, it also brings more money to the club, but it does another thing. He says, the Celtic manager, he says, it's not just because we are signing players to give them an opportunity. He says, the fact that we already have players with experience here, the best feedback you can give or get from anyone in life is from a person who is already involved in the situation that we're trying to bring these players into. He says, all the players that have came here appreciate how welcoming everyone has been at the club and how the club has looked after them. They've enjoyed their time in the city and how the supporters have embraced them. That is better ammunition in terms of us selling who we are to the player, other than us just trying to sell and trying to provide, you know, this is a great club to come to. He says we've actually got players here that can actually talk to them, and that gives us a competitive advantage over anyone that's looking to try and tap into the Asian market. He says we're already having some success and we'll have trust from people that are here that this is already enormously helpful for us, says the Celtic manager. So he's looking to tap back into the Asian market this summer by the looks of it. Callum McGregor's been talking about, you remember Callum McGregor and James Forrest are the only survivors from the treble in 2017, the first treble under Brendan Rodgers. He says Callum McGregor's been talking about that, and he says this is a new group of players. We've spoken about treble and this a lot. We want to write our own history as a group of players along with the management team. So it's obviously something that they've been speaking about inside Celtic Park and inside the dressing room. He says we have 4 or 5 weeks that can be really exciting if we apply ourselves properly and make the right sacrifices. We're hoping to get as many rewards as we can. Callum McGregor then went on to say, so it's just a case of back to work and full focus will be on getting a positive result this weekend and obviously wrapping up the league today. Now there will only be 1,200 fans at the game. There's probably going to be about 3,000 or 4,000 fans back at Celtic Park after the game. If Celtic manage to wrap up the title today. And obviously we're in the final. McGregor's been talking about that. He says that's what the club requires. It's relentless nature to win. He says you have to win again. He says obviously you enjoy the big days. Of course you enjoy them. The supporters would have enjoyed that trip to Hampden. He says but there's still a lot of work to be done for us as players. The next 4 or 5 weeks is where it becomes really exciting, and these group of players are looking forward to that. Talking about the game today, talking about Hearts, obviously Hearts have got some players out injured. Craig Gordon, he's obviously still recovering from his broken leg. I think they've got Michael Smith out as well, and also remember Gary Mackay-Steven, he's actually out for the season also with a broken foot. So Celtic head over to Tynecastle for the kick-off later this afternoon. It is just going to be one of those games. We are going to win. I think the momentum is with Celtic. Hearts are obviously got their own agenda to try and finish third at the end of this season. But it's all down to Celtic today. It's all down to us and see what we can do. Kyogo's on a mission to get that 30th goal. How many goals will Kyogo finish with before the end of the season? Tony Ralston and Kobayashi look like starting today. Celtic are obviously going to go with a 4-3-3 lineup as per normal. I'm not even going to try and go into the team because you never know. Postecoglou the manager could actually just pull something out the bag. But I think he will go with his strongest team for today just to get the title done and dusted. The fact that he's been talking about going back to Asia, going back to Japan, and it gives Celtic have a competitive advantage, gives us a little insight into the type of player that he might still be trying to bring in from Asia. He says it's an untapped market really, but he has a lot of connections there. He says obviously the Celtic manager obviously went on to say, obviously I spent 4 years there, knowing the country really well and a lot of people there. It's great. I think it's more important that the Celtic Football Club broaden its reach. It says obviously our recruiting in the last 18 months or so has been mainly in Japan but also in Korea. Now, there's great interest from our football club in that area. We want to grow, we want to create millions of more Celtic supporters, and I think from our presence there, I know in Japan in particular, but in Korea as well, it will be greatly appreciated. It will put as much back in as what we get from these trips. Given the opportunity to see the people see us over there, and it says in terms of developing their football players and giving them new experiences and looking forward to it, will be a great trip. They have fantastic facilities, fantastic support. I've seen a few people actually commenting and saying, I've played some Japan teams. No, see, because we don't see we see club football and European football. You only see, it's very narrow-minded. You know, the standard of football. I mean, look at the players that we've brought into Celtic. You know, so saying that it's not a good standard, I think we might be a little bit surprised this summer. But you never know. Anyway, the manager is over the moon that we're going. He says that they have fantastic facilities over there, and he thinks the player will enjoy the trip also. What a day. What a time to be a Celtic fan again. Just when we get over the heartbreak of missing out on the 10 2 years later, it's kind of all forgotten about, isn't it? But anyway, it's time to get off this and get ready to watch the game this afternoon. Enjoy the day. If you're going to the Celtic ground after the game, make sure you video it and get it up there on YouTube, because it's a fantastic platform. And if you want to send it to me and I'll put it up for you. Have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll